Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for December 20th, 2020. So, sorry if the lighting's a little off. It's actually still dark outside. I got up way early this morning. I could not sleep. I just woke up just full awake, which I don't know why. Anyway, so I just started my day, and so I'm going to get this done and posted. So, anyway, so this week was a weird reading week. Again, we're leading up to the holidays, so a lot of my work is not... I mean, I'm trying to schedule stuff, but it's also hard because I know a lot of people are off, and so different schedules and things are being kind of weird. And then we had our inventory canceled. We were going to do parts inventory Thursday and Friday this last week, but one of my coworkers went off sick, so we did not do that. So I got Friday off, which was awesome, but I had to rush to get all my stuff together to get ready because I don't trust them to schedule anything while I'm gone if I can help it, because the last time I took a week off, I came back and found out nobody had even decided what they were going to do Monday after a week I'd been gone, what they were going to do. And I'm like, you guys, I can't plan that far out. Anyway, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, so I made sure they were covered until I could get there on Monday with no problem. Anyway, so, but it was really nice having an extra day off. I got a lot of errands done and a lot of stuff around my house that I've started. I'm going to have to do more stuff here pretty soon, but I did quite a few things. So my reading was really weird this week. I have a few medical things going on. No big deal yet. We'll see. So I had a few appointments and things, so I didn't have quite as much time to read, or didn't have the mental space to do it. So I am going to talk about the things I did finish this week, which are all pretty small, and then I'll talk about the books I'm in the middle of, and then what I think I'm going to read in the next week. So the first thing is I finished my audiobook of listening to A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Again, I've read this book many times, and now I've listened to an audiobook twice. This is a new audiobook for me. I got the Tim Curry version a couple years ago, and I meant to listen to it last year, but my brother wouldn't let me in the car, so I listened to the Tim Curry version this year, and it was I really enjoyed it. He did a good job on that. So it was great to revisit this story again. A Christmas Carol, pretty much everybody knows about Scrooge and the ghosts, and he did a really good job. I did enjoy that audiobook. So then of course I watched. We have Disney Plus right now, so I got to watch Mickey's Christmas Carol, and then last night I watched the Muppets Christmas Carol. I forgot how much I love that. Anyway, so I got my Charles Dickens A Christmas Carol done quite thoroughly this time. Then on Sunday I was feeling like the book I was reading wasn't really calling to me, so I picked up a reread. And I picked up Hogfather by Terry Pratchett. So this is one of my favorite Discworld books. Again, I was probably introduced to it from the TV movie. I had read The Color of Magic by then, but I hadn't continued in the series. I'd been kind of lukewarm about the first book in the Discworld series. And then I watched this and understood the humor more. And then I was able to go back and I reread A Color of Magic and then continued on. And again, I read most of the books. I think I've read up to... I think I got to 33 or 34. I don't know. I think I have 6 or 7 left to read. I can't remember. And I think I have 4. No, I must have 9, because I think I have 4 of the the main Discworld series, and then I have the 5 Tiffany Aiken ones, which I'm not sure I'm going to read. I want to read at least Week for Human. But anyway, point is, I think I want to try to finish that series this year. I've put it off because I was sad that it was ending. But The Hogfather is one of my favorites. It's the Christmas book. It's his take on Santa Claus in the Discworld, and of course all the changes and the differences. It's just, again, I love Discworld. It's just, they're so much fun. And it was just great to revisit this after, it's been several years since I reread this. So I really do want to watch the miniseries. So I'll probably do that sometime in the next week or so, but I really enjoyed this. It was a great reread. As I said, it got me back to remembering that I need to finish this series. It does, this is the only problem is this has Death, and this has Susan, which I really like. And it does have some other characters, like the wizards and stuff. But I miss the City Watch. There's only a little bit of that. There's only 2 characters that show up, and it's not enough for me. those guys are my favorite. Anyway, that series is my favorite one. Anyway, so I finished that. I also, oh, I did finish, what did I finish? Oh, I finished another audiobook. That's what I finished. Sorry, I didn't remember. What was I like? Okay, so then I finished the audiobook of The Christmas Hirelings by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. So this is from 1894, and this, I got a version narrated by Richard Armitage, which is one of my favorite audio narrators. I've liked almost everything that he's narrated. It's just been fun. Anyway, but this one is a Christmas story. Of course, it has to do with a man, St. John Penlyon, who is kind of alone in his old age due to certain decisions he's made over his lifetime. And he is having Christmas with his niece and a friend of his, Danby. And Danby has this great idea that they hire some kids to come and liven up the castle during the holidays, because they were talking about. So I really enjoyed this. It was not super long. I think it's like it's like 4 hours, a little under 400 hours long. It was really a good audiobook. I really enjoyed it. I knew exactly where this was going and what was happening fairly soon, but that did not detract from my enjoyment of this. I really enjoyed it. I think the last 2 hours, I think I listened to part of it in my car, and then I came home and listened to the end of it because I didn't want to wait till the next day to get into my car to finish it. So I just listened to it at home. I really enjoyed that, and I thought it was a really good I thought it was a really good book. So and especially the audiobook. The audiobook is really good. So it's a really good, heartwarming Christmas story. I recommend it. And it definitely means I need to pick up some Mary Elizabeth Braddon, which I keep putting off because she wrote Lady Otley's Secret. And I've had that book on my shelf for 3 years, and I need to read it. Then I finished a library book, which is a manga, The Girl from the Other Side by Nagambi, translated by Adrienne Beck. So this is book number 8 in the series, so there's not much I can talk about this. I just really enjoyed it. Again, it's black and white manga that is has to do with a girl who lives on the outside, and we're not quite sure why, but there's a curse that's going around with the people who live in the castle and the city on the inside. So there's inside and there's outside, and she's out here with a creature that she calls Teacher, and it's their story of what happened, how he got there, how she's got there, and with the curse, what is going on with that. So it's been really interesting. This book was a good addition to it. It took me a little bit to get into it because I couldn't remember exactly where we were. Because again, I'm getting them from the library, so it takes months for me to get the next book. And then the next one, number 9, is they don't even have the copy yet. It's on order, but I'm like number 9. So even if they get it like next week, it'll be at least 27 weeks before I get the next one. So as it's gonna be a long haul. But anyway, I really enjoyed this series, this manga, and it's right now it's the only current one I'm reading. I mean, I've kind of backed off on a lot of manga over the years. I go through phases, and right now this is the only one I'm actively reading. So, but I've enjoyed it, and I'm glad I got to that one. And then the last book I finished, oops, wrong one, was I finally, can you see this? It says A House to Let. It's also by Charles Dickens and Wilkie Collins and Elizabeth Gaskell. So this is was a short story that was in his Household Words magazine. Okay. So this one I read because, again, there's an Instagram thing about Dickens Christmas. And again, every year I read certain things, usually with Dickens, that has to do with that. And they're like the little side stories or smaller stories that I've never heard of. And this was one of them. So it's a collab one. So this one I didn't like that well. I think I like the outsides, the framing story. The story starts with an old woman who has to come to town, or decides to go to town. And she rents a house, and when she gets there, the house across the street looks like it's been hasn't been rented in years, and it's like falling apart. but she sees people over there, she's curious about the house, and she finds out it's somehow her, I think, a cousin or something connected. And so she has her butler and a friend of hers does some investigating on the house. And so it's the stories of what they found in that. And the stories that the friend found are weird stories. One of them was sad, but I mean, they were just weird. And then the actual story of what was going on in the end, that was interesting. I liked that part. It was still weird. But it was just a weird story. I liked the way it ended. So the framing story I liked. The stories in the middle, not so much. So it was not a great read for me. I was supposed to read this, not this last week, but the week before. It was the schedule. And I just got partway through it, and I'm like, I'm bored out of my mind. But yesterday I decided I gotta finish this because it's only 74 pages. I had read 25 pages already. I'm like, I have to finish this book. So I finished. I mean, again, it's a short story, or collection of stories, and it was not my favorite. It was just, it was not. So, but it's done. I got it finished yesterday. So, okay, so those are the things all I finished. So the audiobook I'm listening to right now, let's see if I can show it. I don't know if I can. No, maybe not. It says it's called A Round of Stories by the Christmas Fire. And this again is another Charles Dickens collab. I'm not sure who's in this one. I know he did it. I think Elizabeth Gaskell's also in this one, but I can't remember who the other writers are. Anyway, again, I think it's from one of his magazines or something. So these ones are not, so far I'm not really enjoying this. The audiobook is not very long. It's probably another 4-hour audiobook. And it's narrated fine, but I don't remember them having a narrator. I'll have to look to see what that is next time. I'll make sure I have that down. I just don't remember who the narrator is on that. And then, the stories are weird so far. These people are just telling stories around the fire. And the first story was very weird. Anyway, or I don't know. It was kind of like a family story of a man who, I don't know, who kind of felt like he didn't connect with his family very much, except that he really did. I don't know. It was weird. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I'm not really enjoying it. I'm just going to finish it off probably this week, hopefully in the car, on my commute. So we'll see. Anyway, so it's not the best audiobook, but it's another Christmas one I had on my, I already owned, so I might as well just listen to it. So, okay. Well, let's talk about this. So this is another audiobook that I got it back from the library, and I don't know what to do about this. This is The Tenant of Welfel Hall by Anne Bronte. This is my new nemesis. So Wuthering Heights for 20 years was my nemesis, and I finally conquered it this year, and I'm so glad for that. But this is my new one. So I read this a couple years ago, got so far, and then I tried to read it again a couple months later, got only a little bit farther. So I got this far first, and then I got a little bit farther the next time. And then this October I decided, okay, I just conquered Wuthering Heights, I'm going to conquer this book. So I got this far, and which is about 360 pages. And I hate this book. So, but I stopped listening to it the last week that I had the audiobook from the library. I decided to go audiobook in this last time. So I restarted and got all the way to that point, to about 360. So I still hate this book. I listened to another 20 pages. I have 4 hours and 15 minutes on the audiobook. And I think I have 150, 140 pages left of this book, and I don't care. So I don't really, I'm just to the point where I might just DNF this. I've been meaning to, don't get me wrong, I've DNF'd it 3 times already. This is try number 4. But I'm going to give it one more time on Wednesday. I have off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then the weekend. So I'm going to have a nice 5-day weekend. On Wednesday, I told myself I had to clean my more things in my house that I didn't do this weekend. I split it up, so I didn't know it all at once. So I'm going to make myself try to listen to the audiobook one more time. I was hoping I could read it, like do a half hour here and there. No, I hate this book. I don't know if I'm going to, I just don't think I'm going to make it. I want to be able to say I finished it, but I just don't know if I can. And I'm 380 pages in right now, and I don't want to DNF it again. I really want to be able to say I completed this book on my list. I DNF all the time. Don't get me wrong. You guys don't see half my DNFs because I get rid of, like, I try something and I'm not reading that. So it's just, but this one I've gotten that far. So I don't know. This might end up being a skim at the end and then just finishing. I want to know how it all wraps up. But I hate it. I hate every character in this. There is not a character in here I like. And there are different reasons why I don't like them. Like, I mean, there's some characters who are just despicable. Don't get me wrong. That's part of that. But I mean, Helen herself is just, she drives me crazy. Like, and it's not her, it's just the way this is written. And it's just the way that she is made out to be too much of an angel for me. Like, just unrealistic. Like, but also you're like, I feel so bad for her, for the people who she's around, which are horrible. Anyway, but I hate it. I hate this book. Anyway, so, sorry, I'm ranting again about that book. How many rants have I had this year on that? Anyway, so the point is, I don't know if I'm ever going to finish that. The book that I'm currently reading physically is How the Duke Stole Christmas. So this is a bind-up of 4 novellas by Tessa Dare, Sarah MacLean, Sophie Jordan, and Joanna Shupe. So before this collection, I only had read Tessa Dare. I've read 4 or 5 of her books. I've read 5 of her books and a couple of short stories or novellas. So this is my first Sarah MacLean and my first Sophie Jordan and first Joanna Shupe. So I have read the first 2 and I am partway through the, let's see, you can't see it, but the first Tessa Dare's was pretty short. Sarah MacLean's was pretty long. And then I am almost done with Sophie Jordan's, and then I'll read the Joanna Shupe one so far. So I picked this up because I think last year Sarah at the Bookish Knitter had talked about it, and I'd been on my list. I got it used sometime during the year, so I'd have it for Christmas, and it was on my TBR. So I wanted to get to this, and I figured, okay, I was ready to read it. Did I start this Friday? I think I started Friday. Anyway, so this, so they're all stories about Christmas with dukes somehow involved. I liked the first story. Tessa Dare's story I liked it. I mean, there was one moment of, I was like, I don't know about this, but I liked the way it went, and I did like it. Sarah MacLean's, I did not like it, but it's a trope I don't like. It's a second chance romance. And I'm very hard on those. I have to say, I was trying to think again of another second chance romance that I like. Persuasion by Jane Austen is the only second chance romance that I still have on my shelf that I love. Everything else, no, they're just like, okay, but they're not, there's no love for them. So anyway, and then the third one I'm really enjoying. So I'm not done yet. And then the Sarah MacLean one, it's not that I didn't like the writing. It really was just the formatting of the story and the second chance romance. So I do want to still read a book by her. I think I have one on my shelf to try. Sophie Jordan, though, I'm liking her writing style. It's a Highlander story, so I'm enjoying it. I like it. It has some fun in it. So I might pick up a book by her. So if you know a series or a book I should pick up by her, I like this Highlander one so far. And then I have not, again, I'll get to Joanna Shupe probably later today because I'm hoping to finish this out today. But we'll see. So overall, this collection has been pretty good and I'm enjoying it. And again, it was something on my TBR. Surprise, surprise that I read something from my TBR. And I'm hoping, as I said, to get it done today. But anyway, I'm really enjoying that. It's been pretty cool. And then the book that's kind of stumped me is I started European travel for the Monstrous Gentlewoman by Theodore Goss. And this is not the book's fault. This is all my mental. I tried to read this on, well, I had started it Sunday or Saturday or whatever. And then, so I'm only 100 pages in. But I'm not drawn to it right now. I thought I was. I thought I wanted to, I mean, I definitely want to read about these characters. The first book was The Strange, where did I put that? I don't know where, oh, here it is. Sorry, it's kind of hiding. So The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. So this, I really enjoyed this book. And I did that for the read along with the Fall Into Reading Challenge that Tia at All the Books did. So, but this is the second book. It's 705 pages. It's huge. But that's not the mental block I have against it. It's just, it was a little slow in the beginning, I think. I mean, right now we're getting into the action, getting more movement in it, but I think this is also, you have to like road trip books, and I do like road trip books. That's not my problem. I think I just wasn't in the mood for it, and I didn't I mean, I knew I was going into that. I don't know, but I don't think I was in the mood for it quite yet. So I'm hoping that after I finish, How the Dukes Stole Christmas, that I will return to this. Again, I've read 100 pages. It's not like I don't want to DNF it. I just think it wasn't this last week, I didn't feel like it. Even though I liked it, the 100 pages I read, I don't know, it was just a weird block, or maybe I was just craving the romances, and I don't know. I don't know what was wrong. Point is, I will get back to this week, I hope. If not, it'll be next week, because I want to get it done before the end of the year. And I have 600 pages to read. But again, I really like the story. Again, it has to do with, Mary Jekyll, who is the daughter of Dr. Jekyll, from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then she is in this, they've formed this group of women who met in the first book, who are all from different horror and science fiction stories from the 1900s. And I really enjoyed the first book and the way it all went. And then I really want to see what happens in this book, because I think I'm really going to enjoy it. And I don't know why I might have this block. Anyway, so those are all the books that I'm in the middle of. So what I think I'm going to pick up next, or, well, I mean, after I like through those, I don't know. Again, there is an ebook I do want to try to pick up here pretty soon. So I might, let's see if I can find it, that I've heard a lot about, which is The Earl's Christmas Pearl by Megan Frampton. So I've not read anything by her before. But this has to do with a woman who gets left at home for the holidays, and she thinks this is all great until she realizes that, well, there's nobody there to, food and all that kind of stuff. And I think the Earl he's next door convalescing for some reason. I don't know, but I've heard really good things about this. I think last year I put it on my TBR, and I just bought it the other day so that I would read it. So it's a novella, so I'm going to probably read that. Obviously, historical romances are calling to me, because I'd also like to get to the next Bridgerton book, which is number 4, which is Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. And this is, I'm really excited for this book. I've liked all of them to different degrees. Number 2 is still my favorite so far, the Viscount Who Loved Me. So I want to see where this will fall into the list. And again, these characters I already love, and I want to see what happens. So we'll see what happens with that. And then I would really, really like to give this one last shot, is Blackwing by Ed McDonald. This is the first book in the Raven's Mark. This is the last book on my 5-star predictions TBR that I have not been able to decide on. So I want to give it one more shot. And if I cannot get myself to read this, I just think this book has to go back on my shelf, and I just wait, because it's not that, again, I haven't got very far, but I'm just not attracted to it right now. And I really want to finish that list up so that I can make a new list for the next year. So I don't know. Again, it was the last of the 6 that I had on my list. So let me know if you think I should just let it go and put it back on my shelf and then just redo the list anyway. Let me know. But I do want to try it one more time. I thought, well, maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe after having a couple romances and a couple other things, then I'll feel like another fantasy, but we will see. And again, this is like grimdark. I don't know how dark it is, but it's definitely more on the darker side of there's that go into a misery. There's this landscape that's just horrible. And these, I think bounty hunters are going to find somebody for some political reason. And that's all I know. But I was surprised that this is first person. So it threw me off. And I think that's probably part of my reason why it's not connecting with me. Because I have to, I mean, I like first person narratives sometimes, but I'm not always in the mood for them. Anyway, so those are all the books. I've rambled a lot. Sorry, guys. Anyway, let me know if you've read any of these or if there's any of these you think I should push forward and read. Or any suggestions whatsoever. I hope you guys are, as I said, I think did I mention that I don't know. It's early. I don't remember, but my brother and I are not going to my parents' house. So we'll be having Christmas here and we'll, just Zoom with my parents during the wrapping or unwrapping stuff. So it's going to be different. Again, another holiday that's going to be kind of, weird, but we're all being safe. And I think that's the best thing for us. That's our choice. So we'll be doing that. And again, I have Wednesday through Sunday off, so I only have to work 2 days. And then I have 5 days off. So I'm excited to get a lot of stuff done around my house, but also hopefully a lot of reading, which should be fun. And my brother and I are making prime rib. Anyway, so let me know how you guys are doing. And I will, I did want to mention, I am putting up videos about my biggest books on my TBR. I will be posting those throughout this week. I put the first one up yesterday. If you have not seen that, about the 900 to 999 books. Tomorrow will be the 1,000 plus. So, and then I'll do the 800s and 700s in the next couple days. So anyway, I have a couple videos planned for this week, so that's good, right? Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.